Let's try to terraform Mars, the dice game, yet again. Gonna shuffle up our project deck from last time. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for returning. Thank you for joining if you are new. Like, subscribe, do all the things. We're doing solo. This is our second time on this side of the map. So far I've been unable to actually meet the objectives of raising the temperature to positive 8 Celsius, getting up to 16% oxygen, and all 7 Cs. Speaking of which, before we get too far, solo play page 9? Page 9. Place one city tile on any one of these 3 victory points bases. Then place an ocean next to the city tile and one forest on any tile adjacent to both. Doesn't specifically say it has to be in the water. And those 2 aren't near the water, so we're just going to try it this way. It's wrong, but it says adjacent to, and these spaces are not near enough to the water to do that. We don't get any of the placement bonuses. At solo play, instead of starting at 0 and negative 32 Celsius, we get 2% oxygen and minus 28 degrees Celsius. Shuffle up and deal, shuffle up and deal our, come on. Milestones, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so our milestones, billionaire, where'd you go? Billionaires from the corporate era milestones. Have 13 dice resources, all colors count. Wild tokens do not. Wild tokens are not dice, dice are not tokens. So, if we get a bunch of green facilities going and produce a bunch of things, and make sure to remember that we have 13 dice out at one time, and maybe do some provisioning on an action turn, or do some placement that gives us a lot of these nice little double rewards, or even some of the singles, or some of the cards, some of the effects. I was doing things where I'd get to this moment of this percentage of the oxygen and get like those 2 in addition to the forest that was there that generated the 2 red, but then also generated oxygen, but also. So there were a few fun moments of chaining a few events this morning, probably last night as well. But our second option, our second milestone, mobile, have 12 cards in play, all 3 colors count. Our corporation card does not count. An award nominee, also from corporate era milestones. On your play cards, have 5 cost icons that match one of the 3 awards. If you win this milestone, you also have a great chance of winning that award. Speaking of which, we grab 1 of each color, and we roll 3 of them. And those are locked in this case, energy, mega credit, and a city. Those are locked in for our victory points at the end. As normal, randomize the 3 awards. To win an award at the end of the game, you need to have at least 6, 8, or 10 of the corresponding symbol, depending on whether it is rare, uncommon, or common, respectively. Each award you win gives you 5 victory points at the end of the game. Victory points are tracked around the outside for simplicity's sake. If you are only one symbol away from winning 5, 7, or 9 respectively, then score 3 victory points instead. 5 versus 3 there. Milestones. We did our milestones. We don't claim them in time, which in time is after the 16th, after the 20th, and after the 24th turn. So when it goes over to 17, 21, and 25, we lose them one after the other. And we can't get the 4 victory points that they're each worth. Bonus cards. Use 4 bonus cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Set that out of the way because we won't need it. For the rest of this game, these 4 are set aside for right now. We'll need 1 when we do our initial production. Speaking of which, we need to get 2 corporations and select one of them. Make sure you've pulled out your dividers, your base game cards, and your corporate era cards. I recommend putting those in a different color card sleeve or something, but I digress. Alright, so our choices here are Tharsis Republic and Robinson Industries. My friend Max, who should be demoing this, I haven't heard from her, but used Robinson Industries the first time we played. It has no starting initial production versus Tharsis, where we automatically just plop a city on the board and get 3 wild tokens. And then after you generate that first one, you cover it up with your player color so as to not be confused. But then you also generate those on your first instance here. Being able to generate 4 of the colors seemed pretty broken to me. So I think I'm going to hop on that. I like the idea of just grabbing a city and putting it on the board and getting 2 victory points for terraforming, plus 1 additional for each forest in proximity, adjacent. But those are those. So we don't have any initial production there. We will be getting a green, a red, a blue, and a gray. Those get generated and locked in. You do not re-roll dice. There are effects in here that allow you to turn dice at basically at the price of spending 1 to turn another. So we'd spend that 1 and turn this to a different side to meet the cost of the project card. We can only have 3 dice in reserve at the beginning of any production turn. So, based on the cards we have in hand, let's set this out of the way. Last time I was getting all kinds of buried in cards because I don't have enough space for myself here. But going into a production turn, we're going to be making 1 of each of them. However, what we already had, we have to get rid of 1. So it behooves you to spend them, because it's use it or lose it, but you're going to get the fresh resource every turn, so every production turn anyway. Because we've got production turns and action turns. The iconography on the dice, the common symbols that appear 3 times on each one of those colors, uncommon appears twice on each one, and rare there's only 1 per die. So there's only 1 animal. That's the only rare we rolled. No big deal. Our hand size is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no max hand size, however, beginning of your production turns, you can discard as many as you want and draw back up to 5. So there's that. I took a glance at the first one, but so we've got a green card that'll give us that color we're missing. We're just missing the ability to get that. We have a green, but we have the wrong green, and we need a second green. So we've generated these. We'll get our first bonus card. We also unlock bonus cards at 5 VP, so think of it as the 5th fret on a guitar, 12th fret on a guitar, we get another one. But in solo play, you get one immediately. I don't know if we're supposed to know what our hand is yet. Ooh, they are all production things. I like, however, I am not in a position to cast any of those anytime soon. But we could automatically get green cards on the board. Had this been the gold one, like had this been one of the bonus ones, then I would have opted for that. That way I'm automatically making one of each color every turn. The administrator, you can pay any resource, just spend it, exert the card as a support action. That's why it's a yellow. It also says support action to turn any 2 dice to whichever side you would like them to be. That's very useful. This is just a one-time award of, oh, here's 2 wilds, which could get me started on something. However, we don't have the extra something that we need to do that. I want to do that. I don't think I want to just do delivery. Having extra production would be nice. I don't think I want to do the delivery, but it would behoove me to get things going. Or I could just ditch this whole hand and start from scratch. Although this is technically the first hand, so I don't think we can. Because we could at least get the food factory and start making the gold. So sure, let's just do that. So like I said, we get 1 to start with here on the pre-turn 1 or beginning of turn 1. Here's our time cube. There's my player cube is red, but our time cube is what I'm using the blue one for. It's actually the blue player token, but they ask that you use another player token on solo play. But it goes at the end of your turn to signify the next turn. And when we get to turn 50, the game is over. And if we have not met all 3 objectives of raising the temperature, raising the oxygen, and unleashing all 7 Cs, then we don't even count victory points because we have lost. And I was so close last time as far as my personal best. I just needed to raise the temperature 1 more and the oxygen 1 more level. And that didn't happen. So we need to be more focused this time, somehow. Getting green on the board is nice because it allows us to produce what we need to do whatever project cards we happen to get.
But then the third card we won't be, well, the fourth card we won't be seeing. So we get the one here, we'll get the one if we get, if and when we get to 5 VP, and a third one at 12, and then the last one will just be lost. But we get to reevaluate as we go on, and there's plenty of green, so I think this will give us a nice little start. Oh wait, no, we get to keep that as a red card. Alright, so we generated some wild. And that was our production turn. Let's go into an action turn, I guess. Action turn, spend those 2 wild, spend that steel, get us a food factory. So when we go into a production turn, we'll make all 5 colors, 1 die of each. So, useful. Trying to find a better layout mentally for where I want to put things, because I've been getting all buried on myself here. Like, that will have been our main action. What are we going to do as a support action? We could just prospect, which I think is what we want to do. For a subsequent turn, we have a Celsius already, we have an animal already. We're going to need an additional something to be able to do these. Let's go ahead and grab us a second gold as our support action. Then we have spent that as our main action. That's the end of our action turn. Now we're going on to turn 3. We only get to use what we have on hand until we go into a production turn, but if we went on to a production turn, we would lose a die. Go ahead and spend an energy to turn this to Earth, so we're getting closer. And then we'll use a second support action, I guess, to provision. Ooh, we got a city out of that. We're getting closer to that goal on a future turn. Alright, that's the end of that turn. Still doing action turns. Let's provision. Call that cocked. That was cocked. So we'll spend heat to turn that to an Earth. So that's our second support action as a main action. And then we'll be going into our 5th turn. Provision for a gray, not what we're looking for. Second support action, spend that to turn that into a city. Next turn, action turn. This is what we're aiming to do. However, what we're going to do is a support action. We only produce 1 green, and some of these require 2. So we're going to provision for a green and just leave that alone. That was our support action. Here's our main action. Going on to the next turn. This one we're going to do a production turn. I want to keep these greens. Draw 2 more cards. Ooh, all green so far. I'm going to
which was great in the early game. My early game, the first time we played, was all red. Like, just about every card was red, which was both good and bad for me. Alright. And we get one gray, one green, one red, one blue from Robinson Industries. We also get 3 yellow. Alright. Now we're cooking with some type of matter. That was our production turn. Going on to a next turn. What we could do, we've got those ready to go. As our support action, we could just spend cash, mega credit, to flip that to heat. That was our support action. Main action, start cranking out an extra green on production turns. Alright, that was our action turn. We still haven't terraformed a darn thing yet, which there are options when we start making enough resources. 3 heat raises the temperature. 3 water unleashes an ocean. 4 plants plants a forest. 3 cities plants a city. So plant a house, build a tree. And then 3 mega credits just buys us 2 instant victory points. So with what we have on hand, we won't be able to cast any of these at all. So we could just switch to a production turn. We're going to lose something. But we make 3 the turns, so just go ahead and ditch science on this production turn to give us 3 yellow back, 1 green back, another green, a gray, a red, and a blue. Alright. That was our production turn. Oh, we need to get a 4th card. A 5th card if we're not done. This one is fun. I played that last time. Allows us to just keep cranking out reputation every turn. And since we don't have any reputation on the board at all, that might be fun. Alright, did we already move that? I'll say we didn't move it. Alright, so what we've got here, we've got a world. We don't have got money, we've got a world, we need another world. We need that. So as a support action on this turn, let's just go ahead and spend a green to make that another world. Spend money to turn that into event. So that was that production turn, action turn. Onto a new turn. So this is going to be our main action. What are we looking for? Production, support action. Turn this into a second water. As we're trying to get to that one. Main action. Start generating reputation. Use our reputation to start generating victory points every production turn.
There's a support action. Let's provision for a green. That is a bacteria. There's a second support action. Let's do that. That was a new turn. New turn again. What are we going to do? Let's provision for red because it's the only thing we're going to have holding over when we go into our next production turn. And then this will be our main action. Start kelp farming. So we're going to make some green to start getting these out of there. Alright, going on to a production turn. About to lose our first thing. Let's double check, make sure we haven't billion area. 2, 4, 5, 6, 6, 10. So that's not gonna. We're not gonna be a billionaire. Mogul. We do not have 12 cards in play. 2, 4, 5, 6. And that's all we've got of those symbols for. We have 5 cost icons. We have 2 of the cost icons. So let's go ahead and get 2 cards on this. Some blue cards. Don't know how I feel about that, but automatically finally get a victory point on the board. We generate 3 yellow, 3 green here, 1 green there, 1 gray, 1 red, 1 blue. Make sure we get the right number at the end. 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. So we got 10, 11. Excuse me. Wild cherry Pepsi. Alright, so the cards we have on hand. I think I would like to get a few more of these down to produce some more, and then just start generating all of these things. Just try to go that route and not even worry about the cards for the most part. Oh, hey, we do have. Ooh, we do have that. That actually would help a little. Right, so this is what we're looking at for our main action. Is to make our blue card that does a free action of just burn green, which we're making 4 green a turn. Just make 2 heat every turn. Every turn that we use it as a free action. Is there something else we don't have? We don't need a gray for any of these. We could use another blue. Hi, buddy. Use another blue, so that would be our support action. Hi, buddy. Ooh, water. Main action, get our biomass accumulators. Hi. Come on here. Come up here. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, get up here. Please. Please. Come on right there. Hi. Ooh, big kitty. Watch that swishy tail. Love you, think I missed a turn in there somewhere, but let's go into a new action turn. What we're going to do as a free action is, I think, maybe, no. We could pay a money to make this into another bacteria. So that's our support action. Our main action, extreme cold fungus. So we can crank out. Oh, hi. Watch those big meaty mermaids, buddy. Hi. The next turn. What you doing? Scratch that ear, huh? That doesn't help. We need to start terraforming. Oh, big yawn. Big yawn. Okay, so what I think I want to do is, as a free action, get specifically to heat. Oh, hi. Take another support action, maybe? Nothing I want to turn. Let's go on to the next production phase. Production that gets untapped. Turning any green into regular green to be able to start planting forest might be helpful. Let's just hold on to these. Grab 2 more cards. We already have our 3 locked in. Every time we plant a city gives us money. Every time we plant an ocean gives us green. That's a nice little feedback loop. Let's get some dice. Alright, so there's our victory point. 3 yellow, 4 green, a 5th green, a gray, a blue, a red. Alright, that was our production. Oop, we lost our next one. Let's double check to make sure we didn't meet those requirements, but Mogul
12 cards in play. Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So no. Last one, award nominee. We are nowhere near those symbols. So. So onto a production turn. Oops, you were both leaves. So I was pulling you over here. So this is what we're wanting to do on our main action. Closer to this, but we don't have animal. I mean, we don't have a plant. But we could get ready to turn that with something. So let's spend a science because we have gold production at the boosh to get started. So that's ready for next turn. Go ahead and get our algae on the board. Arctic algae. Maybe I'll put it here because it triggers off of things. Auto buddies. Thank you for coloring and hanging out. I had a kitty cam set up for you for a while, but didn't stop working. For some reason the USB drivers weren't working for me on 3 cameras instead of 1. Alright, so that was an action turn. Getting ready to do this one as a main action. Auto buddy. We have a science set aside for it. Spend a science to drop that for now. Main action. Get us some ecosystem engineering. Just like to keep my colors together. Make it easier to read. Move the turn. Let's go into a production turn. We only make 1 gray right now, and that's from our main company. Oh, bye. Bye bye. So we got that. We'll get 2 new cards, some red cards. Skeptic upload on Saturdays. You can just drop an ocean from Europa. You can plop a forest and then get extra green for each forest. And by green, I mean specifically get leaf to be able to do it again, maybe on the subsequent turn. Alright, let's start over here this time. We get a red, we get a green, we get a gray, we get a blue. We get a victory point. We get 3 yellow. We get 2, 4, 5 green. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5 green, and we get another blue. So we got 3 there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So had the billionaire been one of the lower achievements, we might have been able to accomplish that at this point. But we did not. So that was our production turn. On to the next action turn. Make an additional blue on our turns, maybe. So that's what we want to do for our main action, I think. Get these ready. Since we only make 1 gray a turn, let's prospect for a gray as a support action. Hey, sweet. So when we plant cities, we get a bonus. So our main action, go ahead and start making more blue. Come on. Send you over, I guess. Move to the next turn. The last one of those is lost. This is what we're going to do as a main action. You want to save that. Spend an animal. Oops. For 2 heat. Okay, that's random. Let's get that out there. So every time we do happen to plant a city. Alright. Going on to our next turn. I think we just want to plant an actual forest as our main action. I don't know what we want to do for our other actions. How about we just spend that to make that the weakest of them, but still, that was our support action. Let's go ahead and main action. Where's our player handout? Raise that temperature, which immediately gets us a C back. So that was our main action. Go on to the next turn. Main action, I would like to plant a forest, but let's go ahead and spend a science to draw 2 cards. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Finally start making more gray. Let's plant a forest. We get 2 VP just for planting it. It's landing on there, so we get the placement bonus of a wild. We get 1 additional VP for being next to a city. I get to pick one of these. Right now we're only producing one red, but we do have our burninator here, our biomass combustors. Let's go ahead and get our administrator. Next turn. So let's hold on to a red, a yellow, and a blue. Ditch that. We're on a production turn. We have our 5 cards. I don't think I want to swap them out. Let's go ahead and get one green, one red, one blue, one gray. Green, red, blue. There, blue is what I'm missing from Robinson Industries. We get a victory point. I get 3 gold. We get 2, 4, 5 green. 4, 5. If you ever go to draw a dice color and it's not there, well, especially in the 4-player games, then you automatically get a wild token instead. And they don't count towards dice limits, so it could behoove you to just max out on one color to just keep doing that. And then 2 more blue. That's our production turn. As soon as we get them rolling. Alright. Ooh. Lots of fun things. Alright, so we already moved the turn marker. Those ones we banked from last time, and we have this wild. Already moved the turn. Plant, animal. We don't have a water, but we do have a heat. I want to keep this lined up and ready to go, but I want to plant more forest first, but I didn't get enough. Oh, we didn't untap this during our production turn. There we go. So what we could do is just pay an energy as a support action to turn 2 dice. Make one of you water. Get you ready for that. Wait. Did I just grab the wrong one? Alright. So it's ready to go. However, we've got money, we've got energy, we don't have titanium. This could be the second one we turn. So we turn the water. Let's turn that into titanium. We don't have nuke, son of a. Okay, so instead of turning that to water, let's turn that to nuke. We'll do this one this turn so we can start making more gray. Alright. That'll be our main action. That was our support action? Yes. So now we can actually make some gray on production turns. have the turn, pay the energy to turn that into water. Get that one ready to go. Well, that doesn't help us this turn, son of a... We could just get 2 back. So sure. Get a forest. Plop it here, which gives us a blue. It raises the oxygen, which gives us a green. And we get 2 leaves because of the 2 adjacent forests. Bacteria, bacteria, oxygen. Save those for the future. So spend that to turn that as another action. Main action, get some decomposers out here. So we can just turn any green into leaves. Next turn. Support action. Let's try to provision for gray. Wonderful. Main action. Make some more gold on our turn, on our production turns. To the next turn, let's just go ahead and prospect, trying to get some red. Main action. Plop out a tree. I guess we'll put it here and get a victory point for, well, one victory point from it, 2 for itself, 1 for the city. And then we get another bonus card at the end of the turn. Oh, and it raises the oxygen. We're not making more than 1 red at the moment, so I guess we'll just leave the blue one in the dumpster as it were. So that's the last bonus we could have had, but we don't get all of them. Alright, let's go into a production turn. We've got our 3 dice set aside. Let's go ahead and grab 4 new cards. Red, gray, green, blue from Robinson Industries. 4 yellow, 1 victory. 2, 4, 5 green, 3, 5. While we're thinking of green, let's untap our Combobulators. 2 blue, 2 gray, and a red. Alright. That was our production turn. What we're trying to do over here. I don't know why. Oh, those are just the ones we had set aside. There's water. So that's our main action at some point. It'd be nice if something like that made nuke, but that's fine. Want to get the sponsored academy out. Really want to get that out early, but it costs 5 of 3 different colors. Sponsored academy that cranks out wild per production turn. Event and heat, and we don't have water, but we do have money. So our support action is we could turn this energy into some water. Water. Alright. So let's do this. Increases the temperature. We don't get anything there, but we do plant an ocean onto one of our ocean basins. I wasn't paying attention. I could have used that to turn something for free. But let's do that. Plant that ocean. Unleash that ocean. And what else are we trying to do with that? We're trying to rotate something. We have a city for this already. We have a science. We don't have the reds yet. But we could turn this into a world. There we go. An Earth. Have those ready to go. On the next turn. Speaking of next turn, support action. Use a bacteria to make a plant. Get rid of plant another forest. Let's do that before we forget, since those are dice based. Go ahead and do this. We get 2 VP for that. There's no city around there. We get 2 red. Come on, nuke. Nope, not nuke at all. However, we can spend money. Spend money to rotate 2 of them. And we'll just rotate those. It's a support action. On the following turn. So that was our support action. So main action, let's just go ahead and get that out there. I'll put this down here. Come on. Port action, let's just burn that for 2 Celsius, 2 heat. Main action, unleash a C. Unleash a C and go ahead and, oops. Go ahead and get us a couple of VP and a couple of cards, right? Oops, we also get a green for that. We haven't planted a city, so we didn't lose out on that. We get a green. Go on to the next turn. Blue at all for any of these. What do we want to hold on to of our 3? Hold on to our 2 heat. Because that'll auto refund if we do that. Let's go ahead and hold on to that. Let's go on to a production turn. We're down to 3. Let's discard 2 cards. Let's draw 3 cards. Green, red, gray, and blue from Robinson Industries. 1 free VP for a reputation. 1 wild. Here from our sponsored academy. 4 yellow. 4. 5 green. 5 green. 2 more blue. 2 gray. 1 red. Oh, and these 2 untap for the production turn. That was the production turn. Going on to the next turn. Money, energy, heat. I think that's what we're going to do as a main action. But what we're going to do is a support action. Alright, so we could do that as a main action on one of these turns. That produces 2 instead of 1. That might be the better goal. Although we don't have a nuke, so that could be our support action. So 2 mega credits, 1 science, 1 bacterium. We can pay heat to flip 2 things, one of which we're going to go ahead and get this one ready to go. We need to flip 1 more something something. Let's go ahead and make this into water for this one. So we got like our next 3 actions plotted out. Alright, main action. Oh, one of these had to be nuke is what I was going for. Okay. Let's move the gold up here. One red, 2 gray. So some of these bonkers ones that make 2, I don't think I've seen any that make more than 2. But if you start out with an industry that has wilds and you get those in your opening hand, get those out there, start making extra stuff per turn. Well, that was a turn. This will be our main action in this turn. Ouch. Spy relief for 2 Celsius. See if that pays off for us. Main action. Plop a forest on an ocean spot. Let's go ahead and grab our 2 gray for that. And get our 2 victory and raise our oxygen. Ooh, titanium. That's our main. Go on to our next turn. Support action. Harmonic. Support action. Turn a bacteria into a leaf and a victory point. Main action. Corporate stronghold. Plant a city. We'll get 2 VP for planting the city. Get a red for it. Event. We get 1 VP for each forest next to it. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Next turn. Still very new at the game, but I think it should be something more like how forest is 4 of a common, however, that's 3 of a common, that's 3 of an uncommon, that's 3 of a common. I think it should be more options for things to do with your spare resources. Like, make it so you can use, say, 5 steel or 4 titanium or 3 city to make a city. 5 forest, 4 area, 3 animal. You know, just to be able to use up dice instead of relying on going back to the production turn. That just kind of feels like the untap, upkeep, draw phase of Magic. But then I want to go on to my action turn because it's right there, why not? And no. Oh, and we got 2 money for that too. Support action, let's just go ahead and turn that to a Celsius. Main action, let's just raise the temperature and get that Celsius back. New turn. Well, there's a starting one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start. 1, 2, 3. It should have gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That might have been gone last turn. Oh, I wouldn't have had to spend. Whatever. We're just trying to remind ourselves how the mechanics work. Alright, so it's a new turn. Support action, I don't even know. Pay money to draw 2 cards. Plant Celsius water. What we're going to do is a support action. Spend a titanium. Right? What am I even trying to do? I'll spend a titanium and get 2 more cards. This is our main action. Place a forest next to an ocean. Next to an ocean. Replace that card with that card. Oxygen goes up. We get just 2 victory points. Next turn, support action. Use titanium to buy 2 cards. Neato. Not that we have the resources for that at the moment. Do this to get more blue. Go on to our next turn. Excuse me. Turn that into a city. This is support action. Main action, give us 2 green back. 2 red and 2 green. Support action. Well, darn, that's tapped. But let's go ahead and use this as a support action to make that an animal. Let's go ahead and do that as a main action to get a wild. Now we have a national park here. And for things I want to keep versus things I want to ditch. Go on to our next turn. Keep those as a hand. I don't think I want to swap those out for reasons. 1 green, 1 red, 1 gray, 1 blue. 2, 4, 5 green. 3, 4 blue. 2, 4, 5 yellow. 2 gray and a red. That is satisfying. So if you like rolling lots of dice, get lots of green cards out. However, this game falls into, I want to call it a weird middle ground between co-op and competitive, because if you don't, the game stops in multiplayer mode when 2 out of the 3 objectives are completed. In solo, all 3 of them have to be completed. Otherwise, you don't even count up victory points. Victory points, however, are where the competitive part of things come in, because when you finish the game, whoever gets it to the 3rd victory condition, or, well, 3rd terraforming condition, everybody gets another turn, and then they also get another turn, and then you're looking for all of your end game victory points to try to win. So how far you made it around the victory track, plus all your extra stuff, plus your awards, plus your milestones. These untap on our production turn as well. Excuse me. Let me top up my drink real quick. We're nowhere near doing it this time, but I don't know, it's a weird. You have to rely on the project card lock as well as the dice lock, but you can manipulate some of the things by paying surplus resources to get more project cards, or on your production turn, discarding as many as you want and drawing up to 5. I've done that. It doesn't necessarily help, or at least it hasn't necessarily helped me. Alright, I haven't done that on camera though. Science Leaf City. So that's what we want for our main action. Oh, we didn't get our extra victory point for, and we didn't get our wild for that either. We could pay a money to turn to turn 2 dice to something more useful. We could turn one of them to the world, and we've got the nuke. We can do that as a free action and get 2 heat back, which would help us with that. Then we would need this to become event. That would become event. And we can just spend one of those for the other, I guess. So we're doing this as a free action. Doing this as a support action to give us our, got those, that now becomes event. That can be our main action. Just to get that done and over with. Plant the ocean and gain a water back. So we do still need to just rotate something, so we can just rotate that to event, save our wild. Get to victory point. Oh, follow up turn. That's the one I wanted to. Oh, we get a green because planet and ocean. Leaf. Spend an energy to draw 2 cards, I guess. Shipment of terraforming bacteria. Into our main action. So now we've got all 3 of our things. When we terraform with the main ones, we get something back. Move on to the next turn. This is going to be our main action. However, what are we going to do for our support action? Animal, plant, bacteria. Use an energy to make an oxygen as a support action. Clear zone. Let's go ahead and put it somewhere. It raises the temperature. Gives us back a nuke symbol. Places the symbol and it is technically terraforming? I don't know. It placed a tile. I think that counts. On to the next turn, we just gotta get 3 oceans and 10 more degrees, 5 more steps, and 2% more oxygen. bacteria money. Bacteria money if bacteria money science. Oh, bacteria money event. As a support action, I could pay to make that into the science. And that's the red. So money, science, bacteria. And we're using that to make that the titanium. That's right. Which increases our oxygen, increases our temperature. And then on the next turn, just gonna get 3 oceans out there somehow. And raise the temperature 4 more steps. Draw 2 cards, Hail Mary. We can increase the temperature by 1. Or plant an ocean. Unleash a sea. Damn, all the red ones are covered. Might as well grab some greens, I guess. And we get 2 for planting, for unleashing an ocean. Turn 50. Oh, we did do an ocean, so we get another green. As a support action, turn any green into a leaf, into a plant. As a main action, we build a forest. Draw a card. Yeah, so we didn't win, unfortunately. I think I'm going to stack the deck one of these days just to see if there's a mechanical flow state that the game could or should even get into. But I will let you know if it is that game, if I'm going to stack it. Because like having something like this to generate resources every time you terraform, except for the specials, maybe that would help. Previously, I've been really enamored with having the 2 extra storage because you can only hold 3 of your resource dice in reserve. However, if we're producing this much, it doesn't necessarily matter, but it just, yeah. I'm not 100% on the strategies I should be looking for. Alright, so we didn't win. However, if we did, we would have gotten 4 for each of the milestones that we got, which we got none of them. So we'll leave our at 34 where we were. The dice don't matter anymore. Alright, so make it simple and just look for our victory points real quick. The little red banners. Hi, buddy. You're on camera, I think. Go back through these. Another few. Wait, shoot. No. Wait. I think I grabbed the discard pile. Oh well, I'll still show you how the method works. These aren't the discard pile. These are my green cards. I think at some point I mixed my red cards and my discards together is what happened. One of the bonuses. It'll say it, and it'll also be a whole different color on the back. There's a bonus. So things like that are helpful for game design. Oh, there we go. Bonus. Alright. They're not worth any resource cost. They're also not worth any. Where did I put the victory costs? Son of a. Alright. Alright, we would have gotten victory points for everything that we had. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12. So that would take us up 12. So 46 is what we'd have from that. And then we start counting our mana and resource symbols. And we need to have 6 rare, 8 uncommon, or 10 if it's a common. And the energy is indeed common. The mega currency is common. However, it's the city that's rare. So we only need 6 of any city icons. We're looking for city, money, and energy. Energy, money, 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 city, city. Double check here. City. Energy, money, city, city. Money, money, energy. Energy. Money, money. Hi, buddy. Energy, city. I'm almost done. I'm just illustrating how to tally these points of money. Alright. So money we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the money, so that would be worth 3 victory points. 3. Because we don't have the 10, we would get 9. Alright, so energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 energy, so we get nothing for that one. Cities, we just need to have 6 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and we get 5 more for that. So 49, so 54.
So we've gotten 54 victory points altogether, which is less than 60. Might as well lose. Well, we did, so yeah, that, holds up. Put the bonus cards, there's the fourth one that we didn't get to use. Bonus is back. Go ahead and put our starting. Let's go ahead and grab the red and green. Grab for that for next time. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, buddy. Oh, come on if you want to get up that way. Yeah, come on. Come here. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Alright, let me set the cards down. Bonuses. Go ahead and put them face down. Hi. What are you doing? Is it 11 o'clock? Is it 11 o'clock? Come here, big kid. Hi. Come here. Oh, come here, big kid. Clear one. Oh, stay. And now you're here. Let's go ahead and set that back down to 28. Clear off all of the tokens, except for we'll need one ocean, one forest, and the tiles are reversible. Forest, city, one city to start with for solo play. Big critter. Terraform Mars for me, please. Huh? Terraform that regolith. Or whatever we call it on Mars. Order. You're only up here because you're supervised. Alright, thanks for joining me, folks. Have a great rest of PAX, whether you're there or tuning in remotely, or otherwise participating or not. Adios and Dios, muchachos. What are you doing?